It may be feeling a little bit too burdened and weighed down, too many problems happening. The Fool is definitely on the masculine, and I don't mean to say that because of anything, but as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that didn't sound good. So Queen of Swords, definitely feminine energy. I'm gonna crack myself up for a while on that one. So anyway, don't be offended, because after all, we encompass all of these energies within ourselves. Hello lovelies, and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica, and this is your weekly pick a card reading, where your eye's desire leads you to your heart's knowing. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the 4 groups. Here we go. Here's group number 1, which is the Rose Quartz. Group number 2, the Angel Aura. Group number 3 is the Labradorite, and group number 4 is the Cluster Quartz Crystal. So gaze upon them and you will know which one is yours, or if there's a message in multiple groups, make sure to check those out. They will be separated in the timestamp. Hello group 1, and this is your reading along with Ropes back there snoring. So we've got a lot of love in the air right now with all of this beautiful rose quartz, as well as you've picked the rose quartz, which is a beautiful crystal that helps support us in our healing journey of love and healing that heart chakra. It opens the avenue to be able to feel and heal emotional pain and move through with unconditional love. So let's get started with the overall energy for the connection for you and your counterpart. And that reading for your energies will be feminine and masculine, and then we'll join them, and feel free to swap those around, because after all, we contain both. So I'm feeling for the connection, actually that's feminine. I'm feeling the Zen garden of inner sanctuary is really a feminine aspect. This is a number 38 on top, which is an 11. So this could be someone that is dealing with the twin flame energy. So keep that in mind. Keep going. Let's see where this one is. Healing. So reconnecting with your true nature. I feel like this is on the masculine side, that they're going through some healing right now. And for the connection, right here, so ocean of eternal love. Yeah, it's a number 44, and this is a 33, but the 11 and 44 is an 11. So I really am feeling that this is a twin flame connection, something very deep. So let's go ahead and identify with tarot for the messages. Let me probably move those just a little bit so that they're a little bit straighter. My OCD's kicking in, right? All right there. So Ace of Swords for feminine. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. And we're gonna do, bottom. That's it, right there. 2 of Wands. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do masculine energy. There it is. The Devil. So you could be dealing with the Capricorn, the Empress. A lot of Venus energy in here. And Strength for the last one. The Connection. What connection energy? Ooh, right there. So we've got a few things. We've got 4 of Swords, we've got 9 of Cups, we've got the Chariot, and the World. So beautiful. All right. So this is a very beautiful connection. There is a little bit of some discord with having some the Devil energy on the masculine side. However, the overall for the healing is masculine. It's been going on for quite some time, especially with twin flame connections. Sometimes that feminine energy is a little bit ahead, and then the masculine, when we do the healing work, we pull them with us. And of course, that can swap around a lot. But I am feeling that with our world and the energies that are going on, they are going through a lot of healing. And the Devil card here is really beautiful because it is the illusion. It is the illusion of entrapment. And sometimes the masculine can be the predominant runner. And so sometimes they feel with this overwhelming connection that they could be entrapped by it. They're almost afraid of it because it's so intense. It's something they've never experienced before. And so this is right now kind of where they're at. And it could be their limited beliefs. It could be what they're going through in the 3D. But this is really the energy right now for them to break out of is that feeling like they are chained to something or someone. And so they are moving into this beautiful Empress energy. This is Venus energy. This is maternal energy. The masculine really is tapping into this beautiful, their divine feminine aspect. And it is so beautiful to see. And it's because the feminine has truly done the same thing. And if they haven't, this is where the first step happens. It's either one or the other. Like I said, swap around the energies for you. You know what is yours and what is theirs. So really have that beautiful soundness of mind. They're going to get it. And this is something that, you know, the Empress she's pregnant in the birth of her life and love. She has everything. She has a beautiful forest behind her, which really symbolizes trees they symbolize strength and digging and grounding into our roots so that we have stability through the storms. And that's where you go right down to strength. And you could also be dealing with a Leo, or you have Leo in your chart. But this is really tapping into that Leo energy of strength and not force. And you see that she is opening his mouth, but she's doing it in a loving way. It's not forceful. It's not hurting the lion. And I do feel that the masculine energy is getting away from force energy rather than power. And power is being able to stand and be in your strength without forcing it upon anyone else. And that is so beautiful. I love, this is just such dreamy energy of going through the motions of love. And whatever this is for your higher self to really know that this is a beautiful connection. You're gonna go through dark times, but when you sit and stand in your strength and power, and you rise above it, is really where you create that balance within so that you can have it in the 3D. So I'm going to go over to the feminine, and then we'll do the connection energy last. The Zen garden is so beautiful. This is really where I feel like the feminine has been doing a lot of work, and she really feels at peace because she has this knowing that despite even if there is some runner energy, that, well, he'll be back. And so, and the more you work on you and focus on what you have to do, not them, that you really do find that peace within you because you're not going into that anxious attachment style of chasing, because it doesn't serve. You'll chase them away because they are learning how to get their sea legs of love. And so I'm really feeling that. And with the Ace of Swords here, it's all about really being able to sharply communicate effectively and in a loving way that creates, instead of pressure, instead of guilt or shame, it is being able to own where you stand in this energy and in this situation so that you can, well, be strong, but not highly emotional to where that you're not really looking like you are standing in your own power. And that is where I'm hearing with the Knight of Pentacles that you've got all of this, but stop making moves. Just be still. Let them be where they're at. because that's really truly unconditional love. That is the entire embodiment of the energy of this crystal, is no matter where someone's at, to love them anyway. And when you go back to the Empress energy, this is maternal energy. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned in my own twin flame journey was I have the ability to love my son unconditionally. There's no doubt about it. No matter what he is going through or how he's behaving, I love him anyway, and I always will. And so he can hurt me, because that's the journey, or we hurt our parents, but we still stand by them in love. We see where they're at, and we have this knowing that eventually they're going to get the lesson, and it may take some time, but we stand in unconditional love. And so what really got to me in my journey was, well, I have that for my son, but I also have this energy that with my twin flame, that all of a sudden at the beginning it was like, oh no, no one's going to treat me like that, when things were getting hard. And it's like, yes, you get to stand in boundaries, but when it is your twin flame, sometimes we get to let them just be the wave and work through where they're at. And that is unconditional love. That is that going into the maternal love of going, I know who you are to me, I know who I am to you, and you've got to work through your process. And the only way to really bring it around is for me to choose me. Choose my healing, see the games I play, see how I show up in relationship that is not working. Because really, when it isn't working, there's something that is repelling the union, so that you cannot be together. There's something that needs to be healed. There's something that needs to be grown, so that you can really face each other in unconditional love and be in partnership. And so it goes right back to, you've got the Two of Wands here at the bottom, and it is making that choice. And the choice is when you take and you look at your world. And I love how he's always holding this. This always just reminds me of an aspect of, if you were to take your world out, your entire world, your life, everything, and just have it in a globe, and you could just examine everything you do in your life, and how to polish it, how to really choose in a way that is going to be working towards unconditional love rather than fear and working against it. Because that's the only thing that when twin flames repel each other, they're in fear. They're in fear of, it is such a deep love. It is everything they've ever wanted. It's so compatible, and yet you are different enough to pull each other to center. And so now you've found this most amazing, beautiful thing, and you're now scared to death. And so it's really making that choice of fear or love is what I'm hearing here. And if you choose love, choose loving yourself, then you have more of a chance of bringing that into the 3D of union. And I always say, if this is where you're at, you've been going for a while, and now you've the limerence of that beginning, that is gone. It's time to do some work. It's time to do some healing. It's time to go perhaps find a therapist and work on the things as to why you have certain attachment styles and so forth. Most twin flames have had quite the journey, and then once you find each other, you have a tendency of beating each other up in a figurative sense. And what I mean by that is that it really is, you are the mirror of everything you want and everything that you're afraid of. And it's pushing through that into this ocean of eternal love and knowing that. And so the union energy right now, there's a bit of Four of Swords here. I love, there's a little, it's not on this deck, but on the other Rider-Waite decks, they've got a little carving right here of someone fighting, someone with a sword who's fighting someone who doesn't have a sword. And so I really feel that with this, it's really laying down arms. It's really stop fighting. each other, and really just go within, have some meditation, really quiet your mind with the busyness of everything that's going on, and really go into your knowing of the unconditional love connection, even if you can't have it quite so much in the 3D. I'm feeling that this is here. There's just some energy that's a little scary, especially for the masculine, and it is for the feminine as well. But I'm really feeling that you guys are more settled into the energy of going, okay, I know what this is, and I can't be afraid of what's going to happen. I've really got to find my own inner zen. So, and by doing that, you go into the Nine of Cups. This is the energy where there has been there's this union is so fat and happy. You know, when all of the romance and all of the connection, from the physical to just the little things, you guys have such a beautiful romantic. You are the lighthouse. I mean, when twin flames can be in union, they truly are the lighthouse for the example to be set for everyone else that are searching for love. And when you can be in union, you really have this beautiful a glow about you that everyone's like, oh, I want what you have. I want that spark. And even after several years, you still have it because you don't lose it. And it's really beautiful and amazing. And that is truly, you're fat and happy, and you're always feasting upon the beautiful love of the union. So know that it's there. The Chariot here, beautiful Cancerian energy, of you've arrived, or you're going, like the union's already there in the 5D. You already have that beautiful spiritual connection, and so have faith in that. This is completion. This is, I always say it's the Cancerian Magician card, because right in the canopy there's stars. This is as above, so below. So have faith that you will be in union with your twin flame if you are in a break, or you know that you are working towards finding him or her. The World card, it's bringing everything into I believe the reality of the 3D. And because that's what the world is, that's what we're here. This is this beautiful platform of contrast and resistance, so that it's like lifting a weight. It is resistance, so we build. And so we're going through all of these lessons for the journey of love. And it is so beautiful, because it is truly, it's happening. I mean, this is happening. This connection is so absolutely beautiful. You know this. And so even with the bumps, even with the things that are highs and lows, that's part of life. And one thing your twin flame will do is they will hold the mirror up to you and go, is this what you want? Is this who you are? Is this what you fear? And in those moments is when it is time to really trust your twin and what they're showing you and how you're showing up. And that's something that you don't hear very often. And because you can trust them. We get so stuck in our own games, because that is what has kept us this far, going to protect ourselves. And a lot of times those are the games we play, or the walls we have up, do not work in this dynamic. You must go and do the work to see how you show up in life. And usually it's your twin that tells you, yeah, you're not all that. And you're like, oh, wait, what, huh? And that hurts, because it comes from them, but they love you anyway, because they will love you not for your perfection, but in spite of all of the things that make you you. And so that is something for you to take with you. I love this reading. It's so very beautiful. All of us twin flames, we're all in this together to be in union, so that we can be that lighthouse for love, because there's a lot of people giving up on it. But that is the people growing machine. That is how we grow. That is how we exponentially grow. And so I love this. I hope you loved your reading too. And of course, if any of the other groups where you were drawn to, don't limit yourself to one. There may be a message in there for you as well, or all of them. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Welcome, group 2. You have chosen the Angel Aura Quartz. And I love this stone because it's really about healing the body as well as the spiritual mind so that you can have more fluidity in your aura. So I love this. Let's see where we go with the connection for your love reading. And I'm going to do the connection as well as the masculine and feminine. Feel free to swap around the energies. You will know which is yours. So this is Gaia, wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. So I'm going to put this on the masculine. I'm feeling that that's perhaps where the masculine is going, or the energies. Let's go. And this is Moonlight Goddess, so definitely on the feminine. So, and now the connection. What is going on with the connection? Winter's end. Okay. Regeneration, rebirth, and positive outcome. So that's beautiful. Even though winter can symbolize perhaps an ending of something, keep that in mind. Let's see where tarot takes us, though. I know we don't want to hear that. And it could just be an ending of old ways of being. Relationships always are going through different cycles of endings and beginnings. I mean, after all, we are in every moment, right? So I'm really feeling like this Ten of Swords is the connection. There might be some of you that are having a little bit of some difficulties with this connection. So it may be feeling a little bit too burdened and weighed down, too many problems happening. The Fool is definitely on the masculine, and I don't mean to say that because of anything, but as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that didn't sound good. So Queen of Swords, definitely feminine energy. I'm gonna crack myself up for a while on that one. So anyway, don't be offended because after all, we encompass all of these energies within ourselves. So 10 of Cups. So actually this I'm going to put down as the overall energy, the connection right there. Death. So we're going to do this. So there is an ending of a cycle for sure. Whether there is something that deserves to be fixed in this, yes, because you've got the Two of Cups here. This is beautiful. So there is definitely changes that are I'm feeling deserved in this, or are taking place. So we've got the Queen of Cups and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. And I love this because I feel like the masculine is perhaps getting in tune with their emotions and their feelings with this connection. And it's been, well, it's a little scary because they're kind of just setting off on that Fool's energy of stepping into the unknown, and they're risking, and they're kind of excited. So I'm really seeing that whatever this masculine energy is, that they're really excited about it. And so let's go ahead and get started with the Fool. So the Fool here is, with the masculine energy, is excitement. He's excited about this. The masculine energy has that very fresh new feeling about it, and he's ready to set off on this adventure. And so with the wisdom of Gaia and knowledge and spiritual understanding, I'm really feeling like the masculine energy on here has done the work. And so with that, they're stepping into this Queen of Cups energy of really knowing their feelings, and they're ready to be vulnerable in them with you, or you are with them. And that is such a powerful, our vulnerability truly is our superpower that is hidden in our society, because when we get vulnerable, we are willing to risk it all. And when we do that, there's no way that we look back and go, well, I didn't give my all if it doesn't work. It is fully having absolute knowing that you did everything you could. And usually, you know, even no matter what the result is if we risk, we eventually win. And eventually we find those partnerships that are willing to risk with us. And a lot of times we've got to step into that role sometimes first. And masculine energy, when that vulnerability is there, it's so absolutely beautiful. It's so powerful for masculine energy to step into, I know what I want. I'm willing to be in my nakedness with you, and meaning being seen fully, emotions and your pain, and being able to really come forward with feelings and emotion is such a beautiful thing. And right here with the Knight of Pentacles, there's the offering of that. He is definitely offering this beautiful gesture of love, and something right here in the 3D. And I think this is a really beautiful connection with the blue angel, or I'm really feeling that there's a lot of sight here with you know, that inner knowing of being able to really see what he wants to create. And so, like I said, swap around the energies. If you are feminine and you are thinking, oh well, this has been my masculine journey, so know that, swap them around, you'll know what is yours. But then to go over to the Moonlight Goddess, and you see this beautiful purple-esque blue energy around her. I'm really feeling, and with both of these actually, you can see how beautiful they are. There's some beautiful compatibility here in openness. I'm feeling that with the Queen of Swords here, she really knows her mind. She knows what she wants, and she's willing to she's learned a different way to communicate what she wants. She knows that takes time, and so by time and learning, because that's what relationships do. They teach us what doesn't work. It is the people growing machine, like I say, with every love reading. It really is. This is what really pushes us to our greatness. It is the thing that moves us into change faster than anything. And when we really choose to fill our own cup, then we get a cup offered in return that's full, because we set the tone of the energy. And so if you haven't done this and you're like, oh, I'm not feeling that, then this is your message to get filling of your own cup. Show up for yourself. Show up in learning how to communicate in a different way, because sometimes, as is with the feminine energy, there's a lot of power in it, and without focus, without her grounding into that masculine Gemini energy, that air energy of very cerebral, we don't have the capacity to direct our power without grounding into masculine energy. And so we don't create effectively. We create a lot of chaos. And so that feminine energy really needs to tap into her masculine of really learning how to direct her power and her communication so that it's clear, and it stands in that softness of, and what I mean by softness of femininity, it's maternal softness, it's loving, but it's by any means weak. It is extremely, that is all feminine energy is power. That is what moves us into action. But it is grounding into that masculine energy for direction. Where am I directing my power? And so it is all about that beautiful knowing, that very Queen of Swords energy. And then with that, we get the same offering in return. We get equal exchange when we stand in our beautiful, loving power. And so there's a little bit of a shadowy aspect of what's going on for the feminine, and it's maybe feeling trapped or alone in this. And sometimes that's where the vulnerability is being, I'm feeling inspired here. There's masculine energy that really is wanting to be vulnerable. And so perhaps in our own fears of being alone for so long, we can feel entrapped by, I'm really alone in this. But I'm really hearing with all of this, including the energy of the union, that this is encouraging. This is beautiful. It's saying it's time to get vulnerable. It's time to get real. Stop playing games. You're not alone in this. And this is an illusion. She can untie herself and take off her blindfold. And so it's time for you to do the same and really step into vulnerability and risk with relationship. If you want this, you've got to put whatever you've got into it, no matter what it is. And with this winter's end, regeneration, rebirth, and positive outcome. When we completely do these things, we go into a relationship with being reborn. And what I'm hearing here with this, of some healing energy, there's been a lot of hurt on both sides. There's been a lot of things weighing down, and perhaps you've hurt each other, for some of you already. And so it's time to move into, and if this is a new thing or you are working towards a relationship, these are the things for you to clean up. This masculine energy, it could be the person that you're pulling into your life, or the feminine energy if you're interested in someone who resides in their feminine. So this is all information for you to go, I know what's mine. Yes, I'm not doing that. You'll know your answers. And what doesn't resonate, put on the shelf for another day. And this is what you guys want. This is what you're working for. Remember, what you want wants you. That's law of attraction. And so but we've got to do some regeneration. We've got to do some rebirthing. We've got to take and go into this Scorpio energy of death, of renewing and ending of cycles that don't work anymore. Because how we show up in relationships, it really does. It's the mirrors that show us, and it's trusting the information when it comes back to us and it's not so great. So it's time to do things different, is what I'm hearing with this. It's time to open up your third eye of really seeing how you show up and what you really want to create, and getting that vulnerability in your life and doing it different than you've ever done it before. So I love this. This is a beautiful reading. Change, we are going into winter. And so it might be a time for you to do something new, go to new places if you are wanting to be in relationship. Or this is a part, if you are in relationship and it has felt stagnant and it's not going anywhere, it's time to recharge. If this is the person you love, it's time to do things different. It's time to be the fool again in your life, and take chances on your vulnerability, and communicating your true feelings of your authenticity, so that you can be your authentic self. So I love this so very much. I hope you did too. And of course, check out other groups if you feel that you've been drawn to them. If you are, there's messages for you in there. So thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next group. Hello lovelies, and welcome to group 3. You have chosen the beautiful and magical stone of labradorite. I love this stone because it has such healing properties in it that assist with really taking on and creating change in our lives. So let's see what the cards and what the energies are coming through, and then we'll define it with tarot. Let's see what the connection energy is, as well as the masculine and the feminine. Now, feel free to swap the energies around. You'll know who you are and where you reside, or if there's aspects of the masculine or feminine that you are healing, and what answers are for you. So jewel within a teardrop. Appreciation, a spiritual and emotional reconnection. So I'm really actually feeling that this is masculine energy. And we'll see what the messages come through with that. And then this is Enchanted Forest, mystery, magic, and excitement. I'm really feeling like that's connection. So let's go and find right there the feminine: loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. So it looks like the feminine energy has definitely experienced loss and grieving. So let's go ahead and clarify these messages with tarot. And let's go ahead and start with feminine energy. Let's ask tarot for what messages for the feminine regarding this grief and loss. 10 of Swords. Yeah, there's just a lot of low energy with that. Knight of Wands. We're going to put that on the masculine aspect. So Hangman. So I'm going to say that's the connection. So perhaps it's a little stagnant right now. Those two. Page of Pentacles. So definitely masculine, and the Fool. So that's on in reverse, and that is for the feminine energy. Temperance. The connection. Three of Swords. So yes, there's definitely some heartbreak on the feminine. Justice. So connection and Tower. Okay. So there's definitely change going on in this connection. And this could, like I said, be something that has happened or something that is in the process. And so I'm really feeling that the feminine energy is just at a loss with this entire connection. And it's just not going anywhere with the Hangman here. It's different perspective, but it's stagnant. There's no forward momentum. It's just kind of hung out there. And so I'm feeling with this enchanted forest, there's a lot of perhaps hidden things with this moonlight. And I'm feeling that it's probably something on the masculine side, that there's just not a lot of connection. I'm feeling with the Knight of Wands, he is very romantic, very robust, might be a player energy. I'm feeling that with the Page of Pentacles, it's very superficial in the offering. It's this thing and it's fleeting. It's rushing in with that Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands energy of romance and all the things, and then gone. And a jewel within a teardrop. I don't know why, but that really encompasses this energy, that it's not, and it's not saying that it's where this masculine energy is. This is a 10, so it is very endings and new beginnings. I'm seeing it's just rushing in, rushing out. And so with this, there's the Tower moments. And you know, this is energy that when we start our romantic cycle of where we're at, it's not a bad thing. People are where they're at, and sometimes that masculine energy, for whatever reason, and feminine energy does it too. Like it could be your masculine aspect if you reside in your feminine, of playing the field, of breaking hearts for a minute, and seeing, just wanting just solely to please oneself, and however that looks. And that could be a mask, that could be many things, is the reason why people show up in this way. It doesn't work. There are those Tower moments that just, it doesn't work. And it's the universe really, with Tower moments, it is the thing that stops us. It shifts our momentum. But as far as this connection goes, the masculine energy here is just, it's very fleeting. And this hurts. This is loss, grief, sadness. But even though you've got the 10 of Wands here, you know, this is fighting. She's been fighting for this. She really wants this. But deep down, I'm really feeling that with with her higher self, with Temperance being here, like she knows deep down this isn't for her. This isn't the situation she wants. She doesn't want to be in tears and crying after someone who doesn't want to be there. And it's not that it's really going into a balance of knowing your justice within says, no, it's not because you're not enough. It's not because you're wrong or anything like that. It's really, I'm feeling this energy is to really be supportive and love and going, no, there's just partners, and there's people that come into our life, and there could have been lying and deceit is what I'm also hearing, or maybe they were completely upfront and the feminine wanted more. But whatever it is what it is. And being in this enchanted forest in the moonlight, there's just a lot of things that aren't seen right now. And that can be hard. It's hard sometimes to see the forest through the trees, right? And so this energy, the Fool, is in reverse. She's really feeling at a loss here. There was Three of Swords energy I'm feeling like there was a third party here. And whatever end that is, and perhaps it ruined the connection if it was on her side and she didn't know, and then he blew it up. There's so many energies coming in here in scenarios. You know which one is yours, but this just isn't going to happen. The higher self for all parties is really going into balance, getting really healed with your emotional ability of what's yours, and your own power and your own worthiness of love. Because as the saying goes, we accept the love we think we deserve. And if this was a situationship that was very fleeting, very rushed in, that sort of thing, there's things that all parties need to look at and go, how do I do this differently next time? Now, I've seen relationships to where that you rush in and they've lasted a lifetime, and it's just being all in. And then others, you tiptoe in and it still doesn't work, and you feel like you did, well, I did everything that my mom said I should do. And it's like, well, it really doesn't work that way. It's about being in your heart and knowing your answers and risking and being vulnerable. And yes, you're gonna get your heart broken. You're gonna feel hurt, but it's time to really step back in this Hangman energy and take a broader look on how you are showing up in relationships. Are you just rushing from the next one? Are you taking the time to heal, to look at how you are loving yourself before you decide to step into the world of dating? Why that you are drawn to certain types of men or women. And it goes back into some childhood things of what parent was there for us emotionally or not. And so it's how we identify it with love and how we see love. And so we usually go after those types of partners that represented that. And it's what I'm hearing is it's a time to really heal. Look at your life, look at what your definition of love is, and move forward with it. I do feel like there is another message here for you in this deck right there. Hidden knowledge, Akashic records, and silent understanding. So I love this card. Let me show it to you so I don't set it down. This is beautiful. This is even though when you're in the thick of this sort of mess of life, the messiness, the heartache of life, there's a message in this for you. There is messages here for you to do it differently and to really heal those parts of yourself so that you can choose partnership that is going to be a healthier match, because you're going to be healthier. But that healing only starts within. It doesn't fall on the other person. The universe shows up with a matching counterpart that goes, is this it? Is this it? It is nothing out there after you to hurt you. It is only mirroring you and what is deserving of being healed. And so if we are constantly picking, unattainable women or men in our lives, that is a attachment style. I highly recommend looking into attachment style and seeing what yours is and why you move towards perhaps an avoidant person, or you are the avoidant person. So have a look at that. Find your knowledge, find the silver lining in the situation, and really choose your healing. So group 3, I know these are hard things, but this is Labradorite. This is that energy in a nutshell. Is change is deserved, and this will empower you to move in the direction so that you can do something different to get a different result. So thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Hello, group 4. Welcome to your reading. You chose the clear quartz, which is also in a cluster. So it is really the energy about a lot of clarity, a lot of healing. In fact, clear quartz is even known to assist in raising metabolism. So perhaps with this love reading, we are gonna open up some energies to bring something in. Let's see what energies are surrounding this connection. I'm gonna pull cards for the feminine, masculine, and the connection energy and see what messages. So achievement, focused on your dream. I'm putting that over on the masculine side. I'm feeling a lot of masculine energy with that one. Hold on. And this one is perception, beyond the veil of illusion. I'll put that on the feminine. And the connection energy. So loss. All right. So I'm feeling already that this connection, there's some discord. Doesn't make that it's the end of something, but we're going to clarify though with tarot to see what is going on. And right there. So 3 of Pentacles for the energy of the connection. 7 of Pentacles on the masculine. 2 of Wands, feminine. Right there. All right, we've got 6 of Cups for the connection, the moon. And we've got the 9 of Swords all on the feminine side. Right there. Hangman on masculine. 3 of Wands, masculine. And 1 more for the connection. Yeah, 7 of Wands. So, yeah, there's definitely some energies. It's the big picture really assists in this. And I really feel like with the quartz, this is clarity. This is, no matter where you're at in these energies, I'm really feeling like the masculine energy, and it doesn't matter, it could be in the woman's aspect as well, that's really focused on career. There's a lot of career stuff going on right here. And there's just not any movement. There's just not any movement forward when it comes to this masculine energy. He's not wanting to put in the work like he is with the pentacles of the things that he's doing. I'm just not saying that it would be very convenient, but there's been lots of fighting in this. The feminine energy I'm feeling is wanting something that the masculine is not willing to give. And he's really, with this energy of the 3 of Wands, he's set out. I mean, there's nothing. And then you've got the 2 of Wands here. And as you can see, I'm just feeling like there's no one's facing each other. No one's doing anything to promote the growth or the harmony of this connection. If this is a situationship, if this is a relationship, it's just, I'm not feeling it's going anywhere at this time. The perception beyond the veil of illusion, perhaps there is some clarity that's really needed with the feminine, and that's why this quartz crystal is here, is to create that this is just not going anywhere. I know you really wanted it to, if that's who I'm speaking to, that part is, it's just not. And so there's choices to be made here. You've got choices. You've got the 2 of Wands. You've got the world in your hand. It's you about really looking at it and seeing what you've got to move away from something that just isn't working. And so with that, you've got the moon energy here, which is a very powerful card for the feminine. Moon energy is, yes, it's also things hidden. There's the potential of tower moments. If we don't take and choose, it will happen if something isn't meant for us. If we keep trying to make something work that's not supposed to be there, eventually we create tower moments for ourselves where the universe moves it out of our way for us. And so it's really saying there's things you don't see here. You don't want this connection that's going on. And because of your lack of accepting that, you're staying up all night. This is really stressful. This has been a lot of loss and pain. And there's, that's never easy, especially when you feel or care for someone more than they do in return. But with that, with the Nine of Swords energy, you're almost to something else. And where the connection or your higher selves, because the higher selves of any situation, there's this beautiful learning. There's this beautiful, this is the contrast of life that pushes us into doing more, learning more, being more. And love pushes us into things that perhaps we weren't doing before. So with this loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection, there's the beauty of, I'm really hearing that even for both sides, it's to go and gather with ones that love you, that are your friends, to assist you in recovering from this loss. You've got also the Six of Cups here. This is encouraging you to not be jaded by the heartbreaks and the pain of disappointment. And when we tap into that goddess energy for that disappointment, it is the goddess Damavati. And I always say, if you can look at grief and sadness and loss straight in the face and sit with it and be with it, we become extremely powerful, because we've accepted a part of life that is the shadowy aspect that's never fun. But with each time we do that, we truly do learn to be more powerful within ourselves, because we have learned the art of acceptance and being with what is. And that sometimes is loving someone who doesn't love us the same back. And so with that, there's this energy of standing your ground. I'm feeling, and this is actually a very positive card. This is fighting for what you believe in, and it's time for you to stand for yourself and do something different, and fight for the love that you are. And if that is not, if you're picking partners that are not in alignment with self-love, that they are not committed, but you're going after ones that aren't that interested in you, you've got to go back and look at your own self-love and be able to stand for yourself, that these things, that you don't want that partnership if it doesn't match, if it doesn't twinkle back. And so I know that these are never fun when we run into a dead end with a relationship, but I always feel that with loss is the resurrection. It is an ending of something. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it can be something that was a long relationship and it's at its end and it's just no more. But we do with the last reading, like I always say, we accept the love we think we deserve. And so it's time to clean some house. It's time to regroup. It's time to go to the innocence of life and love ourselves, to know what we are really wanting, get clear about that. And if you're masculine and you reside in here of going, I was trying to have fun, and she wanted something more, or I'm really focused on my career, that's not wrong. This is not where I was going. But what I always, one of the things that I've even always told my son, because I learned it from my partner, was if you decide to have very easy flowing just situationships where they're one night stands, or you're wanting to just date and have fun and there's no commitment to it, that is fine. There are women out there who feel the same. Do that, but be very clear that you are out to have a good time, and be clear on what you want. Leave them better than when you found them. And what that means is that clarity. Don't you know, give illusions. Same thing if you're feminine and you're like, well, I'm just wanting to play and have fun out there and take and do me. That there's nothing wrong with that energy. But what doesn't work in the energetic aspect of exchange is acting like you love someone when you don't have feelings for them, acting like there's more there than what there is. It's really being upfront and honest to be where you're at and authentically show that, so that there's no lying or deceit. And I feel like that's really important with our society of because there are lots of people out there who just want to play. They're in the same position. They're focused on their career. They don't have time for a relationship. Just perhaps the energy is for masculine or feminine that is in that energy of just focus on something else. Just be very clear, so we're not hurting people. And you know, when you do that and you both come in and someone still gets hurt, they went in with eyes wide open. They went in with the energy of clarity, of honesty. And you know, I dated someone long time ago, very long time ago, that I was very clear on that. And of course he developed feelings, and yes, I broke his heart, but he was so beautiful to friends that were very upset about the situation. And he was like, no, she was upfront with me from the very beginning. I caught feelings and that's mine. But she was always honest. She was the most honest about it. And I feel that is so very important in every situation, because you can even walk away from it, even knowing that perhaps you hurt someone or you were hurt, that everything was clear. It was out in the front and open. And there's a lot of beauty in that truth. And that way we move forward. We don't create karmic relationships that don't work, and that we've got that icky residue that follows us. This is clarity. This is honesty. And when we do that, we all win, even if we do break some hearts or we end up with the heart that's broken. That's all part of the experience, and that connection to each other, that we're doing something to create push or momentum, or for something that we're supposed to see. So I love this, even though this is hard. You've got this. And if any of the other groups were appealed to you in any way, make sure to go check them out, because there's messages for you from them. And if you're in this part of you feel like that you've been struggling with your own illusions, keep asking for clarity. Go get yourself some clear quartz crystal and put it next to your bed. So thanks so much, group 4. I had to think about that for a minute. Group 4. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.